Welcome to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. A big shout out to my subscribers, and if you're new here and love the Bengals, be sure to bang that subscribe button. If you're a diehard, be sure to hit the notification button. And if you think the Bengals will open the season 2-0, be sure to like this video. So I wanted to do a scouting report on the Baltimore Ravens as we approach Thursday's game on a short week. Obviously, the last time these teams met, the Bengals and Andy Dalton won with a last-minute touchdown to eliminate the Ravens from the playoffs. When it comes to the Ravens, it all rests on the shoulders of Joe Flacco. Obviously, with Lamar Jackson on his heels, he's been put into a position where he has to perform or risk getting benched. The Ravens also made big moves at wide receiver this offseason, where they brought in not one, not two, but 3 free agent receivers. They even considered bringing in Dez Bryant. So let's start with Joe Flacco. Obviously, Flacco has had a strong preseason coupled with a strong debut. Flacco was 25 of 34 for 236 passing yards and 3 touchdowns against the Bills, and he's paired with Martin Morningway, his offensive coordinator the last 2 seasons. And the Bengals will have to make sure that they keep Flacco in check, as we all know he has had his trash moments in the past, but when his back is up against the wall, he always comes out swinging. Lamar Jackson will possibly be a factor, as many have said that the Ravens have special packages that they could use him in, so keep an eye on that. And the offensive line for the Ravens is very young, and they weren't given enough time to kind of gel with the chemistry during preseason, but they're still looked pretty solid against the Bills. And Marshall Yanda is coming back from a shoulder injury, and Ronnie Stanley will man the left tackle position, while newcomer Orlando Brown is in a competition with James Hurst at the right tackle position. And this could be a key matchup for Carlos Dunlap and Geno Atkins, as they could look to exploit their counterparts that are pretty young. Alex Collins is the number 1 back in Baltimore, but he does have some running mates with him with Buck Allen and Kenneth Dixon. And Kenneth Dixon actually finished as the lead rusher last week, rushing 13 times for 55 yards and a touchdown against Buffalo. Dixon is a dark horse, but he's also expected to miss time and could likely miss this Thursday's game. So that means that Buck Allen will be more of the change of pace running back, catching passes and things of that nature out of the backfield, while Collins will more than likely play a little bit of that bruiser role. The wide receiver position looks to be their strength compared to it being a weakness last year. And at wide receiver, it all starts with the newly signed Michael Crabtree. And Crabtree is arguably the best player on this offense, and he is a sure-handed receiver that will command a lot of attention from the Bengals. But the next biggest part of this offense, and a potential issue for the Bengals, is John Brown. Brown is actually the matchup that I'm personally somewhat worried about, but he should match up with Darqueze Dennard in the slot. And the depth at receiver continues with Willie Snead, who comes in as a dependable second receiver for the New Orleans Saints. One spot of a strength that the Ravens could also have is their tight ends. Obviously, with the Bengals being exposed over the middle last week, guys like Nick Boyle, Max Williams, and Hayden Hurst can all be quite catchable pass catchers. On defense, CJ Mosley is the anchor of the defense and has the biggest impact on how the entire defense plays. And you can always never sleep on Terrell Suggs off the edge, especially since Bobby Hart surrendered 2 sacks to Margus Hunt. But to me, it's the secondary that shines on this team, as they boast one of the best in the league with Marlon Humphrey, Tony Jefferson, Eric Weddle, and Brandon Carr. And that's not it. Don't sleep on them on special teams either, with kick returner Janorian Grant. But overall, this Ravens team is very good, and I feel like they'll prove to be a big test for the Bengals on a short week. But as usual, I'll leave you guys with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Thursday. I'm out.